Welcome to Old Fox Racing PlayStation. It has been ages. We are massively late with well, replays in general. We're still finalizing the GT Vintage Championship. We are already well through the next championship, but there is quite a few replays coming on in the next few days. For now, we are at the grand finale of the GT Vintage Championship. This is to remind you how that championship ended, and it is the Nissan GT Vintage, the Fairlady 840 GZ or whatever the name of this car is, at Bannochbrae. And of course we could not help ourselves with not covering this round because it's such an iconic circuit, and I'm sure there'll be lots of action. We are in round 5. This is the season finale. Simon Allen on the chase for the championship is on pole position, followed by Scott Devlin, followed by Darren Head, Gonçalo Mota, Jorge Jesus in 5th place, followed by Diogo Silva, John Scott. It is David Emge in 8th, 9th is Kev Allen, and 10th is Diogo Almeida. So let's find out how this championship actually ended. Let's remind ourselves of how great it is to be here at Bannochbrae, and we are going. Look at Jorge Jesus. Did he jump the start or what? It's either a jump start or it's the best start in the history of Project Cars 2 as they go through turn 1, and it is Simon Allen in the lead. Look at that yellow car there making moves. That's, I believe, Gonçalo Mota trying to make a move around. Is in 4th place. Yes, it is Gonçalo Mota. As surprisingly, they all go through without any further. We couldn't find anyone that has run into problems, and that is quite surprising here at Bannochbrae, as Diogo Almeida has had a poor start. He's down in last, followed by Kev Allen in 9th. Look at this, the pack is nice. Look at Jorge Jesus. That start put him up into 3rd place, and I cannot believe that the leaderboard is not working again. This is going to be quite complicated. Simon Allen in the lead of this race, followed by, I believe, Darren Head. No, it's not. No, Darren Head is in 3rd place. It is Jorge Jesus in 2nd place. Is it? Yes, it is Jorge Jesus in 2nd place. The two guys going for the championship are the two guys that are leading this race, and we are going to do our best as usual to identify accidents. But look at that. There's a bit of a, and it's really annoying that the leaderboard is not working again in these replays, as we have 8 laps of Bannochbrae. Let's try to keep a close eye on battles happening through the field. Let's see if anyone has crashed. No one has crashed. Diogo Almeida is in 10th place there. There's the midfield guys. Oh, and there's someone is off there. Someone is off. It's not Kev Allen. It is David Emge, and David is look at that. He's being passed by 2 other drivers. That number 9 and that number, this becomes quite difficult to follow. I do apologize. It's John Scott is one of the drivers. Look at this 3 wide there into the infamous jump. Let's go back to Simon Allen and the lead of the race, followed by Jorge Jesus, followed by Darren Head. Try to focus on the top 3 of this race and try to see if we can get this leaderboard to work, or if this is going to be a problem for the entirety of this race. Simon Allen leads from Jorge Jesus, but look at this, they are very close to one another. This is the race for the championship as well as the win here at Bannochbrae. Jorge Jesus being very aggressive there on the outside. Darren Head trying to make a move there on the inside, and the top 3 are checking out. Let's look at other drivers. Gonçalo Mota is running last, is he? He's had some issues, which we are going to try to find out what those issues were, and that way we can also try to inform ourselves about what is going on. We do have some idea on when drivers cross the line, because when they cross the line the lap time does appear, and it was in the infamous jump that Gonçalo Mota was caught out, and yes, that was as part of that 3 wide. Gonçalo Mota had lost it earlier, and then it's John Scott and another driver that we couldn't identify, and Gonçalo Mota just goes off on his own, and gets a bit of help there, I believe from was that David Emge? Yes, it was David Emge, that number 9. John Scott there in that number, whatever number he's on, 72, is running in, I guess, 8th place. Logically, Diogo Almeida should be running in 6th. Look at that battle here between Diogo Almeida and I believe the other driver in there is Diogo Silva in that yellow car. Yes, it is. Diogo there in, I guess, 6th place. Gonçalo Mota is Gonçalo Mota is not ahead of him. It is Cavallan, I believe. Logically, it should be Cavallan. Yes, it is Cavallan. And is in 4th place. Diogo Silva running in the top 5. And the top 3 are Darren Head. There are the top 3. Well, I'm forgetting one of the drivers, surely. It is Scott Davley. Yes, Scott Davley is in 4th place. I do apologize. Many drivers running the same livery. Scott Davley in 4th place. 5th is Cavallan. 6th is Diogo Silva. There he is. And then Diogo Almeida is in 7th. Let's go back to the race lead. And this is a battle there between Jorge Jesus and Darren Head. This is highly hit. Oh, Darren Head loses it. Did he lose it? Yes. Oh, no. No. Darren Head from 3rd place will get a replay of what happened from his chase camera, but he also might have pressed the reset button, but rightly so, because he may have been on his side. This is lap 2 out of 8 and big drama. Yes, he was on his side, so you are allowed the reset button in this case. But how did this happen? Let's have a look. That jump over there, and then just the slightest of touches, and then a big touch there, big contact. Darren Head ends up on his side. Look at this, even the boot opened. He does lose quite a lot of time. Let's go back to the race lead, and there was a bit of a thump there from someone. Diogo Silva now up into 5th. Cavallan in 4th. Scott Davley in 3rd. Jorge Jesus continues to be 2nd. Simon Allen retains the lead of the race. So let's look at the order now at the end of lap 2. It is Simon Allen, there the driver at the front, followed by Jorge Jesus, followed by Scott Davley in 3rd place, followed by Cavallan. Oh, Cavallan, where is he? There is Cavallan. Diogo Silva. What happened to Cavallan? Cavallan got overtaken. Something has happened to Cavallan because he was ahead of Diogo Silva and also ahead of Diogo Almeida, and this is what happened to Cavallan. He ran out of road there. Oh, this is very tricky, isn't it? This is he just runs on the inside, a bit of the grass. Not the ideal line through that corner. He is out of control. He's going to hit the barrier. Fortunately, no damage here at Old Fox Racing PlayStation. He loses 2 positions. Diogo Silva up into 4th, actually up into 3rd place. Diogo Almeida up into 4th, and Cavallan down into 5th. Let's have a look at other drivers and where is everyone. Diogo Almeida, of course, is in 4th place. John Scott. Look at this. This is Gonçalo Mota, David Emge, and John Scott, and these 3 have a bit of history at this particular point of the track, because on the previous lap there was action. Let's see how they fare this time round. Oh, and oh, this is the replay. No, this is not the replay. This is actually, it's not the replay. This is Gonçalo Mota having a pretty wild race, because he lost it again at the jump on his own and is down to last again. Let's have a look here, chase camera from let's go trackside. I think it's easier. It's really difficult to get hold of what's going on with this leaderboard, but that number 3 of Simon Allen is going for the championship as it stands. He's leading, but Jorge Jesus is actually very close, and very close as well is Scott Davley. Scott doing a great job there, holding on to that trio of leaders. And in 3rd spot in this case, Jorge Jesus in 2nd, and this race is absolutely not over at all. Let's have a look at that battle here between Diogo Silva, Diogo Almeida, and Kev Allen. They are 4th, 5th, and 6th. And let's concentrate on the top 6 for the time being. We do have 4 other drivers behind them. Gonçalo Mota is running last. And then we have John Scott, David Emge, and the driver that we haven't covered that much is Darren Head. Let's see how he's going to recover. Let's first try to locate him on the racetrack. He is, I believe, ahead of David Emge. No, he's ahead of David Emge, so he is logically in 7th spot. Look at these drivers all over the place there. Let's go back to the race lead now through the village for the 3rd time. Simon Allen, a commanding lead. He's such an expert in this circuit, and he's going for the title. As it stands, it's a very good result to reinforce his position at the top of the table. But Jorge Jesus still on the chase as well, going through the last bridge there now through the jump, and Simon Allen seems to be opening a little bit of a gap there on lap 3. The jump is absolutely fantastic. Almost going off the track there. Jorge Jesus, then Scott Davely, and then we have a bit of action here at the back because Diogo Almeida has caught up with Diogo Silva and is putting an enormous amount of pressure there for 4th place. Last corner before we finish the 3rd lap. Let's look at the lap times of the leader. Simon Allen crosses the line. It's going to be a 2:31.837. He hasn't crossed, no, 2:31.401, and Jorge Jesus slower this time around, 2:32. Scott Davely also slower. Big battle here for 4th place between the Diogos. Diogo Silva ahead of Diogo Almeida. Lap 4 out of 8. We are reaching the midpoint of this race, and clearly Kev Allen as well is not out of this 4th place battle. There he is, Kev Allen, in that. And look at Darren Head, he's recovering quite nicely. We can see him at the back there in 7th place. 7th place for Darren Head. I do apologize for not covering all the drivers as much as I wanted, but it's really difficult to figure out what's going on with this leaderboard. We'll try to keep an eye on the trio of drivers that sits behind. That's John Scott running on his own, David Emge running on his own, and Gonçalo Mota, David Emge in the bridge, and David is now running 10th. Gonçalo Mota is running 9th. John Scott is running 8th. No, John Scott is actually running 10th. I apologize. John Scott running 10th. David Emge running 9th, and Gonçalo Mota already up into 8th place, so that's good. Let's see what's the gap to Darren Head, as Gonçalo is now entering this very fast section. Where is Darren Head? He's already at the end of that section, so Darren clearly is a little bit ahead of Gonçalo Mota in 7th place. Let's have a look at the battle for 4th place, and look at this. This is quite tight there between the Diogos. We'll keep an eye on the battle for the lead as well, as Simon Allen seems to be checking out now. Simon Allen checking out of Jorge Jesus and Scott Davely. Things are a little bit more sorted at the front, but definitely not here. And actually Diogo Silva is not that far behind Scott Davely as well. Scott is losing a little bit of steam now here at the midpoint of this race. Through the jump they go, and this is absolutely fantastic. Oh, and Diogo Almeida almost lost it. Did he lose it? Yes! He lost it. Was there contact between the two drivers? And there goes Kev Allen, and also Darren Head will will get the replay of what happened to Diogo Almeida. Where is he on the list? We'll keep an eye on this battle, but something has happened to Diogo Almeida, and we cannot assess whether there was contact or not. I believe they just went through the jump a little bit too close to one another. I think that's what happened. Oh, there is contact. Let's have a look at this. Diogo Silva, is he going to brake? Yes, he is. And oh, and no, there was no contact. It was purely Diogo Almeida just a little bit too close there on the jump, and then got a little bit out of shape at the exit. Let's see if he can protect the position from Darren Head. Where is Darren? Darren should be right behind this. Yes, he is, but not in the position to make the pass, so they're still 6th and 7th. Diogo Silva now with a little bit of breathing space, but Kev Allen is not that far. Diogo Silva himself is not that far behind Scott Davely, and Scott can still see Jorge Jesus in the horizon. And race leader Simon Allen since the beginning from pole position. Simon Allen is not dominating this race because the gap to Jorge Jesus is actually not that big. It's only maybe 3 to 4 seconds, but he has led every lap so far in this race, and we are already on the 5th lap. Simon Allen, that number 3, going for the championship. Then is Jorge Jesus in 2nd place, followed by Scott Davely. Podium position for the American driver. 4th is Diogo Silva. And where is Kev Allen? Kev Allen has lost, well, Kev Allen has lost a few pieces on his car. He's also lost a few positions. We can see him behind Darren Head and behind Diogo Almeida, logically. So something, well, it seems that he hit something solid with the front of that Nissan, and we'll try to establish how that happened. And yes, he is off the track entirely on his own. Probably better to look at this with the chase camera as he goes through this very fast section, and he's probably going to go not again through the ideal line. Oh, he just zagged there for no reason when he should have zigged. There goes that Nissan, but that's a lot of time lost. Now he's still way ahead of Gonçalo Mota, I believe. Let's have a look. He's in the bridge. Gonçalo Mota is not even close to the bridge. Oh, Gonçalo Mota is oh, Darren Head. Oh no, Darren Head has also had the problem. Or no, that's another number 72. What's happening here? Who is the 72 that was there? Which is the 72? Is John Scott, and John was already running at the back, but he was still ahead of Gonçalo Mota. This may be because Gonçalo Mota made another mistake, but this is terrible for John Scott. Oh, a little bit out of shape there, and there goes Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo Mota is having a terrible race. He's fallen behind David Emge again, I believe. Yes, he is ahead of Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo Mota has had another problem, so David Emge is actually now through the bridge, and ahead of him logically will be Kev Allen, that is already right, well, he's lost time, but he's still in 7th. So the order runs Simon Allen on lap 5, Jorge Jesus in 2nd place. The gap is relatively stable. Then is Scott Davis. Scott is actually closer to Jorge than before. The top 4 are actually not that far away from each other. Jorge Jesus in 2nd place, Scott Davely, the American driver, in 3rd. Diogo Silva is in 4th place, and in 5th is going to be Diogo Almeida. Diogo Almeida has lost a little bit of time, and he's now got Darren Head for company. This is the closest battle on the track. For 5th place, 6th place is Darren Head. 7th place is going to be Kev Allen. 8th place Gonçalo Mota. No, 8th place is David Emge. 9th is Gonçalo Mota, and 10th is John Scott after that spin that we saw earlier. Through the jump they go on lap 5. Ooh, and no dramas this time around, but Darren Head, very good exit there from the jump into the final bridge, into the start-finish line. Darren Head is going to go for it. Darren Head is going to go for it, and he's on the inside there, shuts the door. Diogo Almeida, but still not over, as Kev Allen is there. We could see him there at the back. There's going to be at least 5 seconds between Kev Allen and Darren Head, so not obvious how that gap is going to be recovered in the remaining 3 laps of this race. Nice battle here between Diogo Almeida and Darren Head for 5th spot. We'll keep an eye on other battles. We'll go back to the race leader in just a moment, and Darren Head is really going for it there. Almost thought about going there on the inside. Not an obvious overtaking spot, but Diogo Almeida seems to be struggling a little bit with his tires at this point, and he's vulnerable now. After the bridge there is a big braking point, and Darren Head might think about going on the inside. Let's have a look at what Darren does. He is not close enough to make a move here at this point of the track. There are 2 cows grazing peacefully hearing those cars going around Bannochbrae. Let's go through the field. It is Simon Allen, the race leader, followed by George Zeus. George Zeus seems to be a bit closer now, but still not close enough to launch an attack. Third is Scott Davely. Fourth is Diogo Silva. Fifth is Diogo Almeida, and Diogo Almeida is the first driver that has another driver for close company, and that is Darren Head. Darren now a little bit further behind. Diogo Almeida got some breathing space there. Now on the 6th lap, he runs wide there. This is not going to help his cause. He runs wide there. This big braking point here as we enter the village. One more time for the 6th time out of 8. 5th and 6th here. 7th is Kev Allen, and where is he? He's still a little bit behind. Then is David Emge, or we're not sure whether Gonçalo Mota has already gone up ahead of him, and I believe he is ahead. Yeah, he's just ahead of so Gonçalo Mota in 8th, 9th is David Emge, and 10th is John Scott. Let's go back to that battle between Diogo Almeida and Darren Head as they go through the jump now one more time, and this is absolutely brilliant stuff. Darren Head now doesn't have such a good exit there from the jump. The last section of this circuit one more time. Simon Allen is going to enter the penultimate lap of this race, and this is nicely done there by Darren Head, as he's got a big run now on the last corner. He's done the job there. He's done the job because he's on the inside of turn 1. He's already ahead at the start finish line, and Darren Head is ahead. He's up into 5th place, and down into 6th is Diogo Almeida. Nice battle here between the two drivers here at Bannochbrae. There is Kev Allen. Kev Allen is losing time. He is only crossing the line just now, so he should be more than 5, 7, 8 seconds behind Diogo Almeida now. But look at this battle for the lead. It's game on at Bannochbrae because Jorge Jesus is launching an attack now on the penultimate lap. He needs to get closer and try to make a move, but it's absolutely game on with 1.5 laps to go. Scott Davely is there at the back, and he's out of the picture. And look at this, Simon Allen is getting nervous. He's making a mistake there. He runs wide and loses that fraction that is enough for Jorge Jesus to be now completely glued to that Nissan. We have a battle for victory here at Bannochbrae with 1 lap and a bit to go. Simon Allen is going to have to work hard for that championship. He has controlled this race since the beginning, but now it's prime time here at Bannochbrae because Simon Allen needs to make absolutely no mistake whatsoever to try to give that lead. No, he runs wide again, and here comes Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus goes for the lead of the race. Yes, Jorge Jesus is the new leader. Simon Allen makes another crucial mistake, and Jorge Jesus, oh no, Simon Allen, they both make a mistake there. Oh my dear me. Oh dear, this is getting very, very interesting indeed, as they are now absolute. And look at this, Scott Davely is there, right there as well. Oh dear, this is going to be a classic potential because we now have got the 3-way battle for the lead because the two leaders are just losing so much time battling with another. The number 99 of Jorge Jesus is going to be the race leader at the start of the last lap. This is not over. Look at this, Diogo Silva is going to be there in 4th place. He's out of the picture, but we thought that Scott Davely was the biggest. Simon Allen now side by side. Who's going to lead this lap? It is, well, it's a dead heat, but who is going to lead into turn 1 is the question. It is Simon Allen. Nice move there by Simon Allen. Nice move there by Simon Allen. Jorge Jesus makes a small mistake there. Here comes Scott Davely. Scott Davely on the last lap. This is absolutely brilliant stuff, and you can only get it in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. Old Fox Racing PlayStation. Simon Allen has opened a gap of around 2 car lengths. We have still a very long lap ahead of us, and potentially lots of mistakes to come, but the top 3 are absolutely involved in a thrilling battle for victory here at Bannochbrae through the bridge. And Simon Allen cautious there at the breaking point. And Jorge Jesus thought about it, but he wasn't close enough. But now he might be close enough in the next overtaking point, which is just before the village. Let's see if he can do it. Simon Allen, absolutely brilliant stuff here on the last lap. We'll quickly catch up later on the rest of the field and whether there have been any changes, but for now we'll just follow this battle. Scott Davley is losing a little bit of steam in this last lap. He seems to be out of the picture again, but for victory it should be Simon Allen versus George Bush. This is the breaking point that I was talking about, and no chance there for George Bush to go through the lead of the race through the village one last time. Only a few more corners to go. Simon Allen continues to control this race. He momentarily lost the lead to George Bush, but recovered with a commanding move on the outside of turn 1. Now this is through the last chicane before... Oh no! Oh, they crashed and Scott Davley is in the lead. Oh, absolutely brilliant stuff. Here comes Diogo Silva for the podium as well, but we'll get a replay. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It is mistake. We are not sure whose mistake it was, but the leaders collide on the last lap at Bannochbrae. This is absolutely epic and with championship implications. There is what happened. You see that they go through the village chicane. George Bush, is he going to try to make a move, or does Simon Allen make a mistake? He's coming with more momentum, and Simon Allen is going to attack the... Oh, he's going on the outside. Oh no, 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 no. George Bush just tried. He was coming with more momentum. He's also used the reset button, which is going to be an automatic yellow card. He's lost third place, but we'll have a closer look at what happened here just one more time, because it seems to me that George was trying to go around the outside of Simon. He was definitely coming with more momentum. So we'll have a close look at this on... Now Simon is braking, and so is George. Now, oh, and they're running side by side. But now you can see that George is going to lose it and hit Simon, and they both go off. And we'll have a look at this from Scott Davley's perspective, because really he must be enjoying what he's seeing at the moment. He's going to go into the lead of the race, and Diogo Silva is also arriving at the scene, and he still gets third place from George. And this means that Scott Davley is in the lead of this race, and Simon Allen is behind him, but not... Does he have enough time to recover the lead? Looks like one last chance. This is not over. Simon Allen is going to go for it in the last corner. He cannot do it, and oh yes, it is going to be very tricky here at Bannochbrae, but I think it's going to be Scott Davley. It's going to be Scott Davley's victory by the tightest of margins. Scott Davley wins race 1 here at Bannochbrae from Simon Allen. Then is George Bush and Diogo Silva. Third place is Diogo Silva. Fourth is George Bush. Fifth is going to be Darren Head. Sixth is going to be Diogo Almeida. And then we should have Gonçalo Mota in 7th. No, Kev Allen. Apologies, Kev Allen in 7th. Gonçalo Mota is in 8th place. 9th should be David Emge. And 10th will be John Scott. Oh no, John Scott has retired into pit lane, so David Emge will be the last of the finishers in 9th place, with Gonçalo Mota finishing the race in 8th place. Darren Head did go around Gonçalo Mota, Diogo Almeida on the last lap or so. There is Gonçalo Mota in 8th place, and David Emge is in 9th. So winner is Scott Davley, followed by Simon Allen. 3rd place is Diogo Silva. 4th place is George Bush after that last lap clash. 5th place is going to be Darren Head. 6th place is going to be Diogo Almeida. 7th is going to be Kev Allen. 8th is going to be Gonçalo Mota, and 9th is going to be David Emge. What an incredible race here Race 1 at Bannochbrae will follow through right now immediately with the season finale of this championship, the GT Vintage Championship, and it's going to be again at Bannochbrae, and it's going to be exactly the same format as this race. So let's have a look at what happened here at the season finale. Nevertheless, it was still a positive race for Simon Allen, the championship leader, as he finished ahead of George Zouge. There is the Bannochbrae circuit, amazing circuit in Scotland, road circuit, fictional road circuit in Scotland, and hopefully the leaderboard will work on this second race. It just makes life a little bit easier on the commentary. Let's have a look again at the starting grid for this second race after Scott Davely managed to win race 1 here in this round 5, so the 9th race out of 10 in this championship. We continue to load the replay as we have a close look at the car as well. GT Vintage Championship, always a very popular class in Project Cars 2 and particularly in the Old Fox Racing PlayStation. Now we have Scott Davely with a commanding performance after winning race 1. He is in pole position for race 2, followed by Darren Head. Third is George Zouge, fourth is Simon Allen, fifth is Diogo Almeida, sixth is Gonçalo Mota, seventh Diogo Silva, eighth is Jumbo, welcome him to this round, ninth is Kev Allen, tenth is David Emge. We have lost John Scott, we have gained Jumbo, so we continue to have 10 drivers in this race. Let's hope that the leaderboard is going to work as we go for the start. And again, George Zouge has an amazing start there, and the leaderboard is thankfully working now in this race too, and it is for the lead Darren Head on the outside of Scott Davis. Scott a little bit too cautious there, already lost 2 positions, is down in 3rd place. He's down in 4th place. Simon Allen is going to the inside there. Oh no! Collision between Scott Davely and I believe Simon Allen. No, it's not Simon Allen. It is someone else. It is George Zouge. Oh, George Zouge and Scott Davely, both of them colliding as carnage here in the second corner of Bannochbrae. It doesn't look like George Zouge has been very affected, but the man on pole, Scott Davely, and the winner of race 1, already with his race compromised because he's in 9th place after 2 corners. Let's have a look at what happened. It seemed to me that, and he was on his side. And this, what on earth happened here? How did he have such a poor start as well? Is what we are going to find out. So green light goes, Scott immediately on the back foot there. Darren Head is ahead. George Zouge is going to follow again on the outside of turn 1. Scott, no defense possible there. Now Simon Allen is going to come in on the inside here, and look at that. And is it George Zouge that? Oh, and George Zouge just lost it. George Zouge just lost it. Oh, a big hit there by, I believe, Diogo Silva or another yellow car. It was Diogo Silva. We'll get a replay of what happened from his perspective. Diogo Silva in 5th spot, also lost a little bit of time, nowhere to go after George appeared in the middle of the track. And yes, it is Diogo Silva that has hit, and he was right behind the incident. He was in 5th place. Incredibly, he's going to keep the same position as George just comes into the middle of the track. Big hit there, no damage of course. Oh, he loses the position to David Emge, who has had the best start, and we need to have a replay of David Emge's start because he has jumped from like 9th or 10th immediately into, well, there's some other action that we must have missed. Yes, there was more action that we have missed, and David Emge was in 10th spot. There is the start. There's going to be more action there between a couple more yellow cars. I believe Gonçalo Mota must be in the middle of this as well. There he is. Oh, and this is Diogo Almeida, Gonçalo Mota, pretty much Jumbo, Kev Allen. Pretty much everyone was involved in this, and we'll go back to David's camera, but this is, well, nowhere to go really for Kev Allen. Oh, he hits the inside there, gets overtaken by the, oh indeed, Gonçalo Mota and Diogo Almeida got together there. But let's go back to David's, because we're not done with this replay yet. He was already, he had avoided the first incident. Which was, I mean, and let's have a quick look at what happened there. I believe it was side-by-side running there between Gonçalo Mota and Diogo Almeida that just generated this carnage. Nicely done there by David. Now David is up into 6th place, and now more carnage is going to happen right here in the next corner between Jorge Jesus, Scott Davely and Diogo Silva, and he goes around like nothing happened and he's up into 3rd place. Nicely done there by David Emge, but it is Darren Head who leads the race right now, followed by Simon Allen. So Simon still escaped most of the carnage there. 3rd is David Emge. 4th, incredibly, is Diogo Almeida. Even after spinning on the first corner, he is still in 4th place. 5th is Diogo Silva under severe pressure, and there is someone there that has spun, and his Gonçalo Mota continues to have a pretty eventful round here at round 5. Is not in last place. That's Jumbo, who also got caught in that turn 1 incident. Gonçalo Mota, Scott Davely is already up into 8th place despite being on his side in that a few corners ago, followed by, well, Kev Allen, who had that problem in turn 1, is in 7th. 6th is Diogo Silva. He got overtaken by Jorge Jesus. We have a very interesting battle here between, and here comes Jorge Jesus on David Emge. David is dropping a little bit now. He's lost 3rd position to Diogo Almeida, and now he's under pressure from Jorge Jesus and Diogo Silva. So a lot of Portuguese drivers around David Emge, either ahead or behind. Here comes Jorge Jesus, and Jorge clearly knows that he's got a car that can win this race. He's got the pace, and he's up into 4th now. Diogo Silva is the next man. Can he go around David Emge safely? I think he's going to try to go here on the jump. This is a little bit tricky, but I think he's going to be able to do it. Yes, he is. He completes the pass before the jump, which is highly advisable. And Kev Allen, oh, and David Emge almost lost it there at the jump, and Kev Allen is now the driver that is very close, followed by Scott Davely, a recovering Scott Davely. Remember, he was on pole position, but it is going to be Darren Head who's going to lead lap 1. Ahead of everyone is Darren Head, heading towards turn 1. Simon Allen is getting close because he's got enormous amounts of pace in this circuit. Simon Allen is an absolute expert in this circuit, and on the second lap these two have already checked out. Look at this, 3rd place is Diogo Almeida. He is already 6 seconds behind the leaders. Then it is Jorge Jesus, then Diogo Silva in 5th spot, Diogo Almeida in 3rd. There is David Emge now under pressure from Kev Allen, battle for 6th place. Scott Davely is a couple of seconds behind this duet that continues to battle, and this is the closest battle here on the track. Although I suspect that Diogo Almeida is going to start to have to start to look at his mirrors, because Jorge Jesus is coming for that final podium position. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead, it is just under a second that we have between Darren Head and Simon Allen. We'll keep an eye on other battles through the field. There seems to be, well, this is the, oh, and whoa. This is actually, well, what happened here? There has been an incident between David Emge and Kev Allen, because Scott Davely was behind both of them, and this is the incident as Diogo Silva goes through there. Now this is who is going to hit who. Oh, and it was actually Kev that hit David. But to be fair, David was already out of shape as well, so slowing down. Scott Davely says thank you very much and gets 2 positions in one go. He is up into 6th place. The pole position man making some recovery already on lap 2, but now he's got around 4 seconds to recover before he can challenge for 5th place. As we continue to watch this leader race here at Bannochbrae, lap 2 out of 8. And Darren Head now has opened a little bit of a gap there. 1.4 seconds through the jump they go, and Darren, ooh, a little bit wide there at the exit. This is not good to maximize time. Diogo Almeida continues to be in 3rd, and look at this, George Zuz is all over the place as we predicted behind Diogo Almeida. So I have a strong suspicion that his last podium place is going to change hands fairly shortly, as Diogo Almeida is under severe pressure from Jorge Jesus. Then is Diogo Silva in 5th, Scott Davely in 6th. Let's look at the lap times of different drivers. Scott Davely has done a 2:51, but that was of course the first lap still. Is now done at 2:32.7, which is still slower than Diogo Silva. Ahead of him 2:32.0, but Diogo nowhere near the pace of the top 4 either, who are all in 2:30s and 2:31s. So the top 4 do seem to be checking out a little bit, and in particular Darren Head has opened another second of a gap to 2nd place Simon Allen. There is Diogo Almeida. Oh, and George Lewis has crashed, sorry. George Lewis has crashed, and here comes Diogo Silva. Again, this is almost like a replay of time. Oh no! Crash between Diogo Silva and oh dear, what happened? What was that? Oh! Oh my god. Thankfully we have no damage, but we'll get a replay of this insane crash. As what on earth happened here? It was originally Jorge Jesus that has lost it, so we'll go back to Jorge. He runs wide and he doesn't spin, but he loses time. Then comes Diogo Silva. He's going to try, I don't know what was he trying to do. He goes straight into Jorge's back, spins around. Oh, he tries to recover. Oh, and no chance for Scott Davely to avoid this. And look at this. We'll get a replay on the chase camera. And oh, and more crashes happening here. Oh no. Diogo Silva getting hit pretty much by everyone here in this race. We'll get the chase camera replay of this, as he was almost getting hit by someone else. He gets hit by Scott Davely, and then by a combination, I believe, of Kev Allen and David Emge. Let's have a look at, well, thankfully there is absolutely no damage in Old Fox Racing PlayStation, but Diogo Silva also. Let's have a quick look at what happened here. Jorge Jesus, of course, is slow, he's trying to recover. Diogo Silva was trying to make a move, but really nowhere close, and then he goes up in the air. And now he's in the middle of the track, and he decides to come to the edge of the track, gets hit by David Emge and Kev Allen. Now he's using the reset button, and he has pretty much incredibly not lost more than 8th place. Now here goes Jambo, but he has not lost the position to Gonçalo Mota. So now we have Gonçalo Mota in 10th, Diogo Silva in 9th with a pretty battered Nissan. 8th is Jambo, 7th is David Emge, 6th is Kev Allen, 5th is Scott Davely, but he has lost more time. He is now 13 seconds behind Jorge Jesus, who is in 4th. And Jorge Jesus, of course, has lost a bit of ground there after that incident to Diogo Almeida, who is in 3rd. And the race leader is Darren Head, still and is opening a nice gap now of 2 seconds over Simon Allen. We've got plenty of action here at Bannochbrae, as again Simon Allen not leading the race, but this will be enough to clinch the championship surely. He continues to be ahead of Jorge Jesus. Another lap is in the books. That's lap number 3. Darren had 2:31.280, Simon Allen 2:31.520. So nicely done there by Darren Head. Continues to lead this race. Simon Allen in second. Then 9 seconds behind the leader is Diogo Almeida, and Jorge Jesus, of course, he's done a 2:36.894 now with that error, that mistake lay earlier on in the previous lap. Let's have a look at the next lap. That's going to be important to calibrate on whether Jorge Jesus can actually challenge for that podium position. 50 is Scott Davely running on his own now. Incredibly, his car is not that even visually damaged after that incident with Diogo Silva on the earlier lap. Then is Caval, and then is Jumbo. Then is and we've got a bit of a battle here between Jumbo, David Emge, and a recovering Diogo Silva. So battles through the field as we expect to see in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. Jumbo must have some sort of problem because he is a little bit slow there unnecessarily, and Diogo Silva is on the outside there of David Emge, gets the position. So Diogo Silva up into 8th spot, and of course the visual damage tends to regenerate itself, at least on the replays, not on the actual game playing of Project Cars 2. Seems to me that Diogo Silva can realistically challenge for 7th place here at Bannochbrae by overtaking Jumbo. Let's have a look at other battles through the field. No one seems to be very close to one another except Jumbo and Diogo, so we'll continue to follow this battle and keeping an eye on the other remaining battles as Diogo Silva tries to go there on the inside without any success. But now Jumbo runs wide in the village entrance, and there goes Diogo Silva. That's job done there for the Portuguese driver, up into 7th spot. Let's go back to the race leader, and that is of course Darren Head, and look at how much of a gap they've opened. They're already finishing the lap. 7th place man already 40 seconds. That's in 4 laps, but of course that's due to incidents rather than outright pace. Darren Head doing a good job there, 2:31.260, almost identical time for Simon Allen, 2:31.271. Diogo Almeida has had a poor lap, 2:34. Jorge Jesus not the greatest lap, but 1.5 seconds faster than Diogo Almeida. So the battle for the last place in the podium seems to be on, but the battle for victory seems to be between Darren Head and Simon Allen, although of course on race 1 we also said that it would be between Jorge Jesus and Simon Allen, only for them to clash and Scott Davely to grab the win. There is Diogo Almeida, followed by Jorge Jesus. Will continue to follow this battle. Other drivers tend to be more or less on their own. Scott Davely is running on his own. Caval running on his own is 6th. Diogo Silva now running a little bit on his own. He was only a couple of seconds ahead of Jumbo, but he is gaining a bit of time. As we see the sound of the sheep here at Bannochbrae, that's an amazing detail of this sim racing. David Emge in 9th, and Gonçalo Mota is getting closer to David, so we might have a battle here for 9th place. Sorry, Gonçalo Mota 2:33, which was around 6 seconds faster than David Emge on the last lap. Now Darren Head has a very consistent pace. He's going to finish yet another lap. That's lap 5, so 6, 7 and 8 to go. That number 72 seems to be heading for victory here, but of course still quite a fair bit of ground to cover in this race, and Darren Head, no stranger to mistakes here at Bannochbrae. We've seen a few in race 1, so still a bit of uncertainty over who is going to win this race, although this lap surely Darren Head is going to be miles ahead in terms of lap time, as the gap was around 2 seconds, now it's 3.1, so Darren Head crosses the line. It is a 2:31.460, pretty consistent lap times for Darren, not so much for Simon, 2:32.805. Battle for third. Let's look at the lap times, and again it seems to me that George Zeus is closer this time round. 2:33.4 versus 2:32.7 for George Zeus, so not massively faster, but slowly but surely getting closer. So the battle for the last place on the podium is definitely still pretty much open. Let's have a look at other battles. We have one between, as we suspected, Gonçalo Mota and David Emge, as now Gonçalo is very close to David, so I suspect it's going to be a matter of time before he goes for 9th spot. Not in the turn 1. We'll keep an eye on the other key battles in the field, as now we seem to have a battle, proper battle for third place. We'll go back there in just another minute, but try to see if there is any move here between the Gonçalo Mota and David Emge, as the other two seem to be separated by still 1 second between Diogo Almeida and Jorge Jesus. The battle for third place. Gonçalo Mota now has potentially a chance to go on the inside or on the outside here. Doesn't quite work, or does it, because he's got a good exit there. Good exit there from Gonçalo Mota, and he could go for a move here, and he's going to go for the move. And look at this, nicely done there by Gonçalo Mota, up into 9th spot. Meanwhile, we have Diogo Almeida running wide, and that is going to hurt his lap time surely. And look at this, Jorge Jesus is all over him, so good timing that we switched to this particular battle, because these guys seem to be well, something is going to happen quite soon. And yes, oh, and they crash, but oh, look at Diogo Almeida's bonnet up in the air. Diogo Almeida completely lost it there after the jump, hit Jorge Jesus. Fortunately, it did not make almost any difference to Jorge's line. Incredibly, he has not lost any time. He's going to cross the line, and I believe he may have lost a couple of seconds. 2:35, well, maybe 3 seconds or so. He's definitely now in third place, followed by Diogo Almeida, followed by Scott Davis. Scott trying to make a recovery race work for him now. Just 2 laps to go. With a bit of imagination, he could go for a podium. The man that started on pole position but already has had an incident here on the opening lap with Jorge Jesus, and then another incident with Diogo Silva, who was trying to make a recovery from an incident and ended up getting hit big time by Scott. The gap at the front is growing considerably, so Darren Head is just flying to this victory in the season finale. This is going to be it for 2024 in terms of the GT Vintage Championship, but the champion is going to be Simon Allen as it stands. Simon Allen getting his first championship of the year after a couple of championships won by Diogo Silva and one won by Jorge Jesus. We have Simon Allen as yet another winner in this year's set of championships. Of course, Old Fox Racing, 8 championships of 10 races. Darren Head looking very comfortable there. Simon Allen cruising to the championship as well. Third is Jorge Jesus, fourth is Diogo Almeida, fifth is Scott Davis, sixth is Diogo Silva. 7th is Jumbo, and something has happened to Kev Allen. He's going around Jumbo, but he's lost an enormous amount of time, and we are just going to rewind. We will fast forward later. Kev is already recovering here, but he has had, well, some significant delays, which we will try to find out what they were. As well, he was in 8th place actually, so he has actually recovered some ground already. He's ahead of Gonçalo Mota, and this is what happened. Yes, a bit of an unusual place to lose it. May have been after the jump. Not sure he had any help. Oh, look at that. It was after the jump, but it just, well, seems to lose it out of nowhere, really. The problem is that now he can't use the reset button. He's got to wait there. Diogo Silva goes through. Oh, he's trying to now reverse, but he has to wait for Jumbo, and he's going to go back into the track. Now, the other thing we missed is that Jumbo is going to make a mistake himself, and he's going to lose 7th to precisely Kev Allen, and that, I believe, happened in turn 2. Oh no, it happened in turn 1. No, in turn 2, I believe. Let's have a look at number 23 of Jumbo, currently running 7th, but he's going to lose it. Yes, he's going to lose it there, big time. Oh, and Jumbo also used the reset button. So Jumbo and Jorge Jesus both using the reset button when they shouldn't. The penalties are going to lapse, the yellow cards are going to lapse at the end of the season, so there isn't really a huge incentive to follow the rules at this point. But nevertheless, 2 drivers already being caught using the reset button, as Jumbo really trying to recover that. Oh, and Kev Allen makes another mistake, and here goes Jumbo, and I believe in a few corners it's going to be Kev Allen's turn to go back into 7th spot, as Jumbo runs wide there. They're just a little bit all over the place at this point, and Kev Allen goes up into 7th. All this, oh, and Darren Head has lost the lead. Oh no, huge problem for Darren Head at the jump. What on earth happened to our race leader as he goes to enter the last lap? Oh, he's completely out of shape there. He was out of shape in the jump, I believe. Oh, and Darren, again, the 3rd driver to be caught using the reset button. So 3 drivers in this round: Jorge Jesus, Jumbo, and Darren Head. The 3 of them using the reset button when they are not allowed. And the admins will have a look at this. We are already underway in the new championship, so these penalties are going to lapse at the end of the season. But nevertheless, a bit of a warning for these 3 drivers not to use the reset button in a race if you are not, well, if you're not in your roof, on your roof or on your side. And Darren Head clearly has gained an advantage from doing this, because otherwise he would not be even close to Simon Owen as he is now. We do hope that Darren Head is not going to go around Simon Allen, because that would be quite an unfair outcome of this race. He would have lost a lot more time in that incident if he did not use the reset button. So let's see whether any action is going to have to be taken here, although Simon Allen is opening a gap, so I think the problem just fixed itself. Simon Allen is going to go for the championship and the win, and it's going to be the perfect season finale for the Yorkshire driver to win this championship. Oh, and he loses it again. Darren Head is still close. but clearly there is a bit of a cloud there on Darren Head's race. I mean, we had others using the reset button, but no one actually gained a big advantage, and certainly not in the battle for the win. Simon Allen through the village for the last time, just a few more corners to go, and he's going to go for the championship and for the win in this season finale. Let's have a look at what happens to Simon Allen as these two are battling it out for the win on the last lap, and George Jesus is already almost 15 seconds behind the leaders. This is going to be very interesting to see. The last few corners, Simon Allen seems to have everything under control, but you never know what's going to happen on the last jump. This is where Darren had lost it on the previous lap and used the reset button illegally. No such problems for Simon Allen now on the last lap, and he seems to go for the win, and Simon Allen is going to be the winner of this season finale and also the championship. The GT Vintage Championship of 2024 is going to Simon Allen with the win. Also, Darren Head finishes in second place, right behind Simon Allen, and the checkered flag is in the air, and it is Simon Allen followed by Darren Head, and Simon gets the championship. Third is going to be Jorge Jesus. Fourth is going to be Scott Davey. What happened to Diogo Almeida? What happened to Diogo Almeida? Something has happened to Diogo Almeida, and we are so focused on the battle for the win. We'll have a quick look and then we'll fast forward again if need be. But Scott Davey from pole position, he was almost dead last. I believe he was in 9th out of 10. Oh, and this is on the last lap. This is absolutely cruel for Diogo Almeida. He just loses it there. Oh, he just clips the sidewalk, and Scott Davey says thank you very much, and he recovers from 9th to 4th with a lot of consistency after that incident on the opening lap, and another incident with Diogo Silva when Diogo Silva was making a slightly ambitious recovery from an incident in the middle of the track. Nevertheless, Scott Davey 4th place, 5th place is Diogo Almeida, 6th place is Diogo Silva. That was a good recovery as well for the Portuguese driver, who was in 9th place as well after that incident in the middle of the race. Gonçalo Mota salvages 7th place. Not the greatest round for Gonçalo Mota, especially the first race was full of mistakes. The second race a little bit more positive, as he is in 7th. 8th is going to be David Emge. 9th is going to be Kev Allen, and Kev really losing it towards the end of the race. David Emge is ahead of Kev Allen, still a few more corners to go, and Kev is trying hard to make one final move on David, but I think it's a little bit too late now. It is a little bit too late. David Emge is going to get the position, or is he? And gets hit by Kev Allen. Fortunately, does not lose the position. Oh, and is waiting for Kev, and now gives the position, which is slightly bizarre. But Kev finishes in 8th. 9th is David Emge, and completing the top 10 and all the finishers is Jambo. This completes the GT Vintage Championship. Again, a very interesting round here at Bannochbrae. We will be back shortly in the channel with action from the GT3 Championship, which is ongoing still. We don't have all the rounds, but we'll share what we have. For now, it's bye-bye. What a brilliant GT Vintage Championship we have had. It's definitely one of the highlights of the year in terms of racing, in terms of parity, in terms of competition for the win, and in the end, it was Simon Allen, the very deserving winner of the championship. See you soon in the Liberated channel.